Okay. Yeah, well, yeah.
Can you not hear that? Oh, it's there. If you think that you'll be fine, I don't need a mic.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
So another week or two.
Good morning, David.
Can you give me a lunch token on us?
Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind.
So, yeah, it's a busy day. It's going to be really busy in the seminars. How is it now?
Okay, your left ear, please. Is it on now? No. Put that bottom bit underneath the low. Brilliant. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you look like Britney Spears. I was going more Madonna.
Just a little bit of clarity. If you want to flick it on and off yourself, the mute's on the top. Are you introducing? Yes, just want to slide it in your pocket, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
If that's comfortable enough for you.
Yeah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this fascinating speech here. Henry Phillips not here today, but we are very lucky because we've got Luke Strudwick, who's Corporation Communications Manager at Rolls-Royce Limited, and he's going to give exactly the same talk, same subject. So please welcome Luke and listen to what he's got to tell us.
Thank you. Thanks, Malcolm. So I should start by sending apologies from Henry. Sorry he's here. You'll see that I'm not a designer. I don't have pencils on me. I'm not wearing a roll neck. So, but I've got a very close connection with Spectre. I was the product communications manager from the naming announcement all the way through the testing phase and then ending with starter communications where we showed the car to the world. So I feel very closely affiliated with the car. I was with the car during its testing phase. So I took the car with our engineers to the Arctic Circle in North Sweden, and then followed it down hot weather testing in Dubai, and then ending in the south of France with our high-speed testing as well. That was a program that resulted in 2.5 million kilometers where our engineers put the cars through its test, a total of 400 years total. tested. And that's really important for Spectre, because our engineers had to make sure that the car was first and foremost a Rolls-Royce. We have the typical tenets that you think of an EV that work perfectly with Rolls-Royce. It's perfectly silent running, endless sort of torque, and that perfect waftability. But it was the refinement that our engineers had to make sure that they got absolutely perfect, and they were relentless in making sure they managed it. Our engineers at Goodwood, they work with our clients. They know exactly what our clients want and expect from their Rolls-Royce. They've been doing so for a number of years. And so with Spectre, they really pushed themselves to make sure they met those demands. It was a different type of engineering as well. The age of the internal combustion engine, which is very mechanical. You go out, you test the car, you fix a nut or a bolt here. With Spectre, it was a new digital evolution where a lot was done on software. So they go out and test the cars, and they might have to adjust their sort of power delivery that the electric motors are providing. So it was a really new evolution of Spectre. But it was really important, and I think if you're lucky enough to drive the car, you will recognize that it is a Rolls-Royce first and an electric car second. So that's really important to us. But I'm here to talk about design. So our designers are really, they love storytelling. There's so much storytelling with this brand, and we're really fortunate to have those stories. So let's look at the Starlight headliner, for example, which has been seen on many of the Goodwood model cars, and is really, our clients love their Starlight headliner. It gives them an opportunity to bespoke the car exactly as they want. They might choose the constellation over their location when their first child was born, for instance. And these stories are really important to our designers. And with Spectre, that evolved into our Starlight doors as well. So over 4,000 perforations in Spectre's doors, backlit subtly to provide a light illumination. And it's the little things as well. Our upright Rolls-Royce hubcaps on the wheels that really engage our clients. And little things like an umbrella, maybe not a luxury item, but it's something that Rolls-Royce have thought about that our clients to make their journey as effortless as possible. So what are the inspirations for our designers? Well, they look at the past, they look at the heritage, they look at the beautiful cars out on display today. Our design team were here yesterday, drawing inspiration from several of the cars that we have on display, and you may see some of those features in future models. That's really important to us. And the words of our founders as well, they echo the halls at Goodwood. We make sure that we strive for perfection. And you can see that with our craftspeople as well. It's really important to us that our craftspeople challenge us, they challenge our clients, and they come up with new and brilliant things every single day. And that's really important to us. And it's really important for British craft as well. We employ over 2,500 people at Goodwood, and these people are doing really important work in securing British craft as well. And finally, our clients are really important to us as well. They are the lifeblood of everything we do. We know our clients, we speak to them on a regular basis. As I said, they challenge us. That's really important for us because we need to know exactly what they want. And with Spectre, it was no different. So you may have seen a few years ago, we brought out 102EX as a concept car. That was our opportunity to take that car out on the road and speak to our clients and understand how does an EV work for you? What do you need? And then we took that feedback back and developed and refined the process. So it's really important. But I think the first and foremost, the one things our clients wanted, they wanted a powertrain that behaved like a Rolls-Royce. It had to have all of the tenets that they loved from their V12. And they also wanted something emotive as well, which led us to their ultra-luxury electric super coupe design. So just looking back at our founders, I think it's really important. We're lucky we have these beautiful little bits of history that we draw on. As I said, we strive for perfection. And Charles Rolls published in the Autocar at the turn of the 19th century the quote where he talked about the electric car. The electric car is perfectly noiseless and clean. There is no smell or vibration, and it should become perfectly usable when fixed charging stations can be arranged, which sounds quite familiar these days. But that was a prophecy that he made, and we really wanted to make sure we sort of had that in our ambition in everything we did. And I think we got there, and I think he would be proud of the car that we brought to market today, that we've got it on the stand. Other elements that our designers look at and they draw inspiration from. So haute couture, our designers, they like to talk about automotive haute couture. So this is an element of bespoke that comes in line with that of the fashion industry. And I think what we have is we have cars. So last year we released Phantom Syntopia, which was designed in collaboration with the Dutch fashion designer Iris van Herpen, creating this incredible Starlight headliner, which was embroidered, it was textured, it was amazing, it was incredible, and these beautiful seats. We have another level of bespoke as well, which is our collection cars. So at the top right, you will see a collection from Blue Shadow, which was a collection of 62 cars that ran on the theme of viewing Earth from space. And our clients really engage with these stories as well. It's really important to them that their car has meaning, it is special, it is unique. But it has a purpose as well. So what does that mean for Spectre when we come into what our clients expected, demanded? If you look at Spectre out on the stand today, or if you're sat and you look in your rearview mirror and you see one behind you, you will see it commands presence. It is a mightily impressive car. We took inspiration, our designers took inspiration from Phantom Coupe. They saw it as the spiritual successor to Phantom Coupe. And I think you will get that when you see the car in person, the sheer scale and size of it. But it's not just about making a big car, it's also about embodying presence. So you look at the width of the car. We have to do a number of things that help sort of guide the eye around the car and indicate that presence. So our daytime running lights run across the whole length of the car. They sit under the Pantheon grille, the widest grille ever produced on a Rolls-Royce, and commands that width and that presence on a Rolls-Royce. We look at other lines. So we talked about uprights are flowing, and you will see that on this silver cloud here, the sheer vertical line at the front and then the flowing lines that run along the side of the car. And we can see it in the Spirit of Ecstasy. We've got this interpretation on the left here, where you have this sheer verticality and flowing lines that run along the side of the car. They draw the eye down the side of the car, and they indicate a sort of sheer monolithic beauty that also sort of flows along the length of the car. And we also talk about these upright lines as well. They're really important to us. So you see it in these pre-war Phantoms that have these sheer vertical lines along the side of the car. We introduced that in our 103X, our concept car. And then Spectre, you can see along here at the front, these sort of bow lines that match that of a boat. And what that does is that splits the front end and it draws the eye down the sides of the car. We talk about free pen strokes that are really important to us at Rolls-Royce, and our designers use these on every single model they start with and they design. And this is the very first initial stage of designing a new Rolls-Royce. So we have the top line that runs all the way from the front of the car and runs all the way to the back of the C-pillar. We then have the shoulder line, which runs from the door handle and runs all the way to the back of the car. And my favorite line, the waff line, which runs along the bottom of the car as well. Now what this does, the waff line is really impressive. What it does is it indicates movement on the car, a subtle movement. So it sits at the bottom and it reflects, much like the hull of a boat, it reflects the road as it moves, and the car just subtly guides along the road surface. It's really important to us, and it really indicates that sort of graceful, elegant drive that we come to expect of a Rolls-Royce. Our designers also really love sheer surfaces. They love that they work with their body shop, and they challenge our engineers to have as much sort of metal on show as possible. So we have these sheer surfaces. The doors on Spectre are the longest rear hinge doors we ever produced on a Rolls-Royce. They took inspiration from the Seven Sisters in Sussex, just down the road from Goodwood, to really sort of command this presence. And from a side profile again, you will see that the car does command that presence on the road. A feature that our clients love, and we also feel is very important, and is also very relevant to the history of Rolls-Royce, is the two-tone. And we're very fortunate on Spectre to have two options now available of our two-tone. We have the Aero two-tone, which you'll see on the left there, and on the Morganite car that we have on display on the stand, which runs essentially following the roofline all the way down the back. And then we have the more familiar two-tone that our clients know and love, which follows the C-pillar down. And this gives clients the opportunity to really get creative with their cars and mix what they love and really bespoke their cars to make it unique and one of one, which is really important to them. And our design team have this wonderful phrase, islands in a lake. And it's really challenging for our engineers because what they want to do is, our design team hates shut lines. It's something new to me as the corporate comms guy, that they come in, they want to remove all lines. The engineering build a car, they want to rub out the lines because they think they're ugly. They draw attention away from the sort of jewel-like features that we have on the car. But that's really challenging for our engineering team. Removing shut lines isn't a simple case of just removing them. They're there for a reason. And so they really challenge each other, and there's a healthy tension between our design and engineering team to create these. But it seems like a really small thing, but it's an immense amount of time and effort goes into creating these. So our bonnet on Spectre flows all the way down straight to the Pantheon grille at the front. And you will see that our Spirit of Ecstasy sits within a small hole in the front of that bonnet. And think of the engineering effort that goes into making sure that Spirit of Ecstasy can come up and retract, the bonnet can come up and down, and every time fit beautifully within that small hole. That's an impressive amount of work that goes into it. The Spirit of Ecstasy, I should just say, on Spectre has been updated. Obviously, with an electric car, we're always looking to create as good sort of drag coefficient as possible. So she's reduced in size ever so slightly. The result, 830 hours of design, engineering, and wind tunnel testing, which actually leads to a drag coefficient on Spectre of 0.25, which I know is just a number, but trust me, that's incredibly impressive for such a large car. And then at the back as well, you'll see it in the tail light. So that's the rear piece of aluminium on the tail light is one of the largest in Goodwood era Rolls-Royce. And our tail lights sit beautifully flush in that piece of aluminium. You'll also see, you can't see it in this picture, but if you look at the car on the stand as well, our rear tail lights are neutral in color. So they don't clash with what our clients are specifying and how they're creating the color of their car. So you'll see they're just beautifully silver. There's no red on them until in use. And in the interior, obviously a Rolls-Royce should be beautifully sumptuous and luxurious when you step inside. Spectre is a true four-seater. You can easily make beautiful road trips with 4 people in the back. The purpose of the back, we talk about this cosseting art lounge. So it's where our clients may sit. And the purpose is you can sit there, you can view your your Starlight headliner. And the angle of the seats in the rear as well are tilted slightly inwards to aid conversation between 2 rear passengers. The other thing you get to see at the back is the Cannondale door paneling, specifically designed at 55 degrees. That is a design language that we sort of have to stick to, and it's something that again, it creates that tension between engineering to get that very specific degree perfectly on all of our veneers. So Spectre is the most digitally advanced Rolls-Royce motor car we've ever produced, and that's really important to us. We have a new user interface. It's called the Spirit system. And it's always interesting when we introduce something like this to our clients. It has to be right and appropriate. Our clients don't want a flush of buttons and sport modes or whatever. They want to get in. We good? Oh, okay, we're good, we're good. I was about to duck, I thought our clients want effortless, they want ease, and that's really important to them. So they get in, we give them all the information they want and nothing more. So we show the speed, we show the range, and the power reserve. They can go into the system and select more information if they need it, but we don't feel they really need it generally when they're talking about it. These dials can also be bespoke now for the first time to match the color tones of their car, and there are some really beautiful animations that you'll see. So as the speed increases, you'll see some beautiful little stars echoing the headliner and the doors that follow the speed round. And it's really important to us to make sure that Spectre is moving with the times. It is advanced, it is digital, but in a way that is appropriate for our clients. And then finally, I just want to touch on the materials in our car as well. These are really important for us, and they're something that our clients really engage with. So if you get the chance to go and see one of our cars, step inside and feel the real metal of the air vents, the organ pulls, all of the buttons, you'll feel they're cold to touch. If you ring them with your finger, you will hear they ding, and that creates a sense of just materiality that is really important to us. There's other elements that we've introduced in Spectre, so the illuminated fascia, which you will see in the top corner. That is a feature that we've had for a couple of years, but is a really exciting and new feature. So we see it says Spectre there, but clients can bespoke that to however they may want. And what's really important to us as well, that's not just a screen. It may look like a screen, but actually that's the result of an intensive amount of work. That's a series of very small perforations in that piece that is then backlit to display. We're not in the sort of mood of putting screens in for the sake of putting screens in. And that's basically our design sort of show in a nutshell. There's plenty more we can talk about, and I'm happy to go through with you if you want to ask any questions or speak to us on the stand, any of our team. But I think what's really important for us throughout was that Spectre is our sort of is a canvas for our bespoke team to be able to produce what they want and overlay some of the incredible craft work that we do at Goodwood. It's all hand built at Goodwood. But also that it meets what our clients are expecting in that it is a Rolls-Royce first and an EV second. And I think if you get the chance to go out and drive the car, that's the one thing you will really pick up. Many of our clients sort of forget that it's an EV until they have to go and charge. But that's really vital to us, and anything we have to bring to market has to be exactly perfect and exactly as our clients request it. That's me.
Have you got time for a few questions?
Yeah, by all means, yeah.
Yes, could you answer if you wish?
Spirit of ecstasy.
Yes.
The Spirit of Ecstasy. I've got numerous cars, but Silver Ghost is a beautifully big Spirit of Ecstasy. When you look down the bonnet, it inspires you. It looks good. It's so precious to Rolls-Royce that now the Phantom, the new Phantom, the original first Phantom you made was tiny, in my view. I've got one, and it's tiny. You've made it even smaller now because of aerodynamics. I agree aerodynamics are so important, but so is visual presence. When you look down that bonnet and you see that Spirit of Ecstasy, it inspires you.
It's a good point. The other elements. So one element is aerodynamics. The other is regulations. That's a challenge that we've really desperately fought for, and we should never lose that. So it's a challenge, but it's a mix between aerodynamics and also regulations, which is a bit of a shame. But that's as far as we can go. I think what's really clear to us though is we truly recognise the importance of that as the brand, and we try and introduce it in various other elements of the car. If you look at the wheels on Spectre, you will see that they're subtly influenced by the Spirit of Ecstasy. You'll see the sort of flowing robes that inspire that. The new Cullinan Series 2 has a Spirit of Ecstasy inside now. It's like they've got a beautiful clock, and in that vitrine is a Spirit of Ecstasy. So I recognise and appreciate what you're saying. We're doing our best to make sure we maintain that brand signifier. Yes.
What's the future direction of Rolls-Royce? What's on the... drawing boards?
It's a good question. I think what Spectre has done is shown that we can do it. It was a real turning point for the brand to make sure that we could deliver an electric car or anything that was not an internal combustion engine car that was suitable to what our clients need. And I think Spectre's most definitely proven that. There's plenty of things in the pipeline, and I can't talk about them all today. But I think yeah, thank you. The future's good. The future's good. I think what's really good, what's really interesting is you may have seen the plant expansion that we're doing at Goodwood as well, and what we can't stress enough is that is not about producing more cars. That is about nurturing the bespoke nature of our business. We realise the sort of preciousness of Rolls-Royce motor cars, and they should not be proliferated across the world. So we need to have we're very careful about the quantity of Rolls-Royces we produce, and that expansion, which secures the brand further, it secures jobs, it secures sort of our place in West Sussex as well, is all about the bespoke contribution that we can bring to the business as well.
Can I just ask
Yes.
people, I know Rolls-Royce, they lead rather than follow, but on, you mentioned about combustion cars that a lot of manufacturers now are looking towards hybrid, they're looking towards hydrogen in particular. There are marks which come out, which Toyotas, for example, BMW, they're saying hydrogen. Would Rolls-Royce be totally taking that out of the market and they're just going all electric?
I think it's a good point. We do lead, we don't follow, but only when it's appropriate to bring it to market. So that's a key note, and we monitor all these things very carefully. Hybrid to us represents a bit of a compromise. You don't have one thing or the other, and hydrogen is one of those things that we'll continue to look at. But it's sort of a we watch the market, and we watch what the clients are asking of us. Hey.
Hi Luke, thank
Hey.
you. Just a quick question. You mentioned the wheels. I understand they're 23-inch. Was there a reason you chose 23-inch? Something technical or an engineering reason?
I think our engineers would have been happier with a smaller wheel, perhaps. The big wheels look great, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
look fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was a key driver for us. We just wanted to have the best looking wheel out there, and it was just a push from our designers to have bigger wheels, and they suit the car perfectly. It's a big car. You need something that represents that. So it was a design influence. It was a design push to make sure we had something that was aesthetically pleasing.
Thank you.
If one was to order a Spectre this week, when could you expect delivery?
That's always the question. When are you ordering?
Probably Friday.
Okay, great. It depends on the level of bespoke content that you want to put into it. That's anywhere. We were really fortunate. So before Spectre even launched, we had a great order book of about 18 months. That was really great for us, and it shows the appetite for the car. I think if you ordered now, you'd probably, with a minimal bespoke content, probably 9 months or so.
9 months?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah? Sold.
In time for next year's rally?
In time for next year's rally. We'd love to see it. Yeah, but also depending on the amount of bespoke content, if you want to go crazy, you're probably looking at 18 months. So, yeah, it's a bit of a moving obstacle, but
9 months is good.
cool.
Have you considered using more carbon fibre and lightweight materials in the cars?
Yeah, so in terms of structurally, we use technical fibre on our black badge models quite significantly, and they're very popular with a certain set of audience. So yes, we use it, but I think it's really key for us to have the sort of classic materials, the veneers, those open pore veneers that are so beautiful.
Just from a structural point of view, that better for MVH as well.
Yes, yes. I mean, our engineers will always look into it. That's my, yeah.
You mentioned the doors have been made longer. Could you show with your arms how long the door is?
I don't think my arm's long enough.
What?
I don't think my arms are long enough.
Okay. Where are you going to park the car?
Where am I going to park the
Where
car?
is somebody going to park the car?
In my beautifully arranged home garage, I should.
I mean, when you're out and about.
I
mean, even if you go, let's say, on a nice little trip to a National Trust house or something, you have to put it in a car park.
I would say it matches many of the cars that are currently out on the stand in terms of size. I've driven the car plenty. I never struggle to park it.
Oh, I'm sure putting it in the parking place is not difficult.
Once you're confident of it, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, our clients use the car. Our clients use their cars every day. Like that's it. That's
they have places to put it.
That's growing feedback. They want to drive their cars.
The name Spectre.
Yes.
Why? I mean, I can guess, but why?
Yeah, I think it's really important that we recognise the heritage of the brand, and so we've always, from the Goodwood area, we've always had these sort of ethereal names that hark back to the heritage. So.
Okay, I understand. Ghost, Phantom.
Yeah, it fits in with the rest of the portfolio.
I think, but I'm not positive, that the Phantom 3, as an experimental car, was called Spectre. I know the Phantom 3 Technical
My heritage man is nodding at me. Yes.
Is saying yes, yeah.
Yes.
So it has been used before.
Yes, it has been used before, yes.
So I hope it brings you good luck.
Thank you very much, so do I. Yes?
What is the vision on self-driving cars at Rolls-Royce for the customer experience?
The old answer was that our cars have always been self-driving with what's called a chauffeur.
Good one.
Yeah. We're client-led. Our clients aren't necessarily asking for self-driving cars. If they have a driver, they will use their driver. If they get in the front seat and they want to drive it, they want to drive it and feel like they're driving it. It's not necessarily something that our clients are asking for us in particular numbers that we would necessarily listen to, but it's always there as an opportunity to follow should that be requested. We're just not seeing a demand for it at the moment.
Thank you.
No worries.
Right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
I do urge you to go and have a look at the Spectre over there, the rest of the other range of Rolls-Royce products. There's a very knowledgeable team of people over there who will answer all your questions. So do go and have a look at the car. They do have an order book if you are interested. But before that, please join me in thanking Luke Strudwick for giving us a very interesting talk. Luke,
thank you very much, Sean. Thank you. Thank you.
Before you all leave, there's a very important point about self-driving cars. They rely on electronic equipment in the car that they're avoiding. At least my old cars didn't have that. So they wouldn't necessarily recognize an old car. Someone who
Good point.
was talking about has done some of that research. So be careful with
Many thank yous.
No worries, thank you.
self-driving cars.
No worries, thank you very much.
I've been shy and I've been tested.